all of them.
Yep, exactly. And of course, valuation. Looking at NASDAQ here off by 0.4%, the underperformer. Here is the closing bell. Full coverage for you.
The Closing Bell, Bloomberg's comprehensive cross-platform coverage of the U.S. market close starts right now.
We're about 2 minutes away from the end of the trading day. I'm Alex Steele alongside Scarlett Fu. We're going to take you through the closing bell with a global simulcast. We're joined now by Carol Master and Tim Stenovic in the radio studio. We got TV, radio, and YouTube audiences worldwide. We're going to parse through these moments. Headline level, guys, nada.
Yeah, nada. So you know what I'm going to talk about? I'm going to talk about Meta because it's up 17 in a row. So we're talking about a gain of 18%. We talked about it yesterday. A stock that has had the most consecutive gains. What a run. Just up about 0.3%, but nonetheless 17 in a row, up 18% in that time.
It could have been one of your gainers, Carol.
I know.
It could have been.
I was going to, but it was down.
It was teetering, yeah.
It was teetering.
Yeah, you don't want to risk it.
No.
Finley doesn't like that. Hey, you know, equity indices aren't doing much. Bitcoin down 2.2%, just trading around $95,000 per Bitcoin.
You know, I wonder if the CPI report is going to be more of a catalyst for something tomorrow. Volatility around the CPI report, according to some analysts, might be kind of limited because the Fed's not going to count on this one CPI report to make its next decision, right? I mean, it's going to be a couple of data points, a couple of CPI reports, a couple of jobs reports. So, you know, the stakes are not as high for this CPI report, but it'll be super interesting given that it might color Jay Powell's day 2 testimony.
Or at least they'll definitely get questions. He'll definitely get questions on that for sure. But I guess it's a direction of travel, right? We were talking earlier about inflation break-evens, particularly for 2-year, continue to rise. And we talked about Jay Powell not having entrenched inflation expectations, not seeing that in the market, but those expectations continue to move higher. All right, there's the closing bell, guys. Headline level, real uneventful. The S&P ending pretty much flat. The NASDAQ is the biggest loser of the day, but still just off by about 0.4%. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average off by about 0.3%. And just trying to take into account here what's happening with small and mid caps, also like a little bit softer, but guys, nothing to write home about.
Yeah, it's like ho-hum, right? S&P 500, kind of an even split. 261 names to the upside. Scarlett, 241 to the downside.
All right, let's take a look at the IMAP, which splits the S&P 500 into its 11 main sectors. And there is more green than there is red, and is led by consumer staples, up about 0.9%. Energy stocks and material stocks also gaining at least 0.5%. The laggards of the day include consumer discretionary, which really is, we're talking about auto companies, automakers, which as a group are down about 5%. Healthcare stocks also marginally